Baga. Oh.
She's talking to my cat.
Jeez.
Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Bookshelf. Today we are reviewing the 100-Foot Journey, and we actually both have copies of it. This is what it looks like. Let me clear that up for you. This is my friend Brittany Wilson. I listened to this one on my audiobook. I know I have the hard copy here, but I bought it after I was done because I liked it. And she didn't take any notes because I didn't ask her to review it with me until she was like 3/4 of the way through. So this might be a shorter review where we're just sort of talking about certain things that stood out to us, and yeah, we're not going to really be going in depth about like theme and whatever. Like, so this is just gonna be a fun review. When I was listening to the book, this voice actor is so funny. Like, I don't know, his name is like Neil something or like something Niels. Like, clearly not an Indian actor, but he was like using an Indian accent, and sometimes it sounded more like he was a Mexican. For those of you who have not read the book, it's about this guy named Hassan. His family moves from Mumbai after a tragedy happens to their family. His dad picks them up and leaves, and they move to first England and then Paris. They're very into Indian cooking and they're very proud of their heritage, but then once they get in France, they sort of set up their restaurant across from a very well-known and highly appraised French restaurant. There is a lot of animosity between the two cultures, I guess, the two restaurant owners. I really enjoyed it. There is a movie about it as well, as you can see from this big ugly red sticker on the book. I personally give it 4 out of 5 enjoyment stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I give it about the same. The
parts that I really enjoyed were the parts that were mostly like involved in the movie. So I think the movie did a really good job of sort of, they changed a lot in saying this. They changed a lot, but they did a really good job of capturing like the timeline that was the most interesting in the book. So like outside of the general timeline of the movie, that's when I sort of zoned out a little bit.
I'm used to reading like young adult fiction, and so like there's such easy reads usually, and this one was like not like my reading level is like that of a child, but like it was harder to follow. Like sometimes I would zone out because he would use a lot of French words that I didn't understand, but I still like, I loved the story. I loved how everything worked out. It was a really good book. This would be the point where if you have not read the book and you don't want to be spoiled to it, you should probably clock out. In saying that, once you've read it, please come back. We want to discuss it with you, and we hope you enjoy it. So see you later. This book, there wasn't a whole lot of like jump out moments. There isn't a lot of things that I'm like, I need to start here, I need to talk about this. It was a good read, but it's very like, it doesn't get you emotionally pumped either way. No, I think the one part that was really well, Hassan fell into, was it Greece?
I don't even know, because this is funny. I was actually zoning out at this part, as unfortunate as that is, or maybe I like turned it down for a second and all of a sudden he's on fire. Yeah,
that was like the main like peak where like something big happened.
Where something caught your attention for sure, and you were like, tell me more. That doesn't mean it was a bad read.
No, it wasn't
it was still interesting throughout, but it wasn't like gripping climaxes over and over again. How did they do it in the movie? The air's very different. They changed a lot of things.
They're basically they're basically different.
Yeah.
But with the same elements.
Interesting. They were both good though.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. When a movie turns out good, but it's so different than the book. I'm like, that sort of sucks because you're not sticking to your source material.
It's basically a different movie.
Yeah. Like it sucks because you're not like respecting the author's source material that they work so hard to develop, but at the same time it was really good though. So in the movie, when he was in the fire, his hands got burned. Yeah. But in the book, it makes a point of referencing that, like making a note that his hands did not get injured. Yeah. So therefore, that's why Mallory felt comfortable inviting him to cook at her restaurant, because he would still be able to like use his hands and just like feel the delicateness of like what he was doing. Another thing that I didn't like that they took out was the willow tree.
Yeah, that was a huge... The whole reason Hassan got burned was because his dad cut down her willow tree. Like, it all led to these series of events.
Is the name of their restaurant, like the French restaurant, is the name of it the Willow, just in French? If that's the title of their restaurant, I feel like that would be really stupid to leave out of the movie because, yeah, that's a major symbol. I hate it when they leave symbols out of movies. It says, La Salle Pleureur, the Weeping Willow. That is what it means. So the fact that the movie took that out kind of sucks, to be honest. Yeah. I guess they didn't want to villainize the dad, though.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted them to make them look just like victims. His dad was interesting in this book, too. He was really gross on one hand. One part that stands out to me is the part where they're popping pimples and zits on his back. He's just kind of greasy in this book. Greasier than the movie. Like, in the movie, they just sort of make him out to be, like, this really sweet old guy.
But
no. But his character still was really funny, though. Like, he was witty, and he was willing to stand up for himself.
Yeah.
When Madame Mallory, like, came against them, like, in the marketplace and stuff, he, like, gave it right back to her, which was... I liked that.
I am a big sucker for romance in movies, and books, and anything, whatever. And the trailer for the movie, the way they made it seem was that he was going to fall in love, and blah, 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 and it was going to be great. And that is what happened in the movie. The book doesn't really tell you whether or not they are going to end up back together or not. It kind of leaves that open. It just kind of seems like that something might happen. They don't really tell you. I was expecting the romance in this book to be I was expecting it to be something completely different. But that's okay, because it left me wondering what was going to happen, because I had no idea. Yeah. So
it left some mystery.
Yeah.
Their romance in the book was sort of irrelevant. In the movie, like, she was the one that told him that he had to make an omelet, and then she was sort of like a shrew about it, to be honest. Like, she was, like, when he started having success, she was, like, really jealous, and so she was a little bit mean to him. What is the guy that Mallory is in business with? Like, they're co-owners. In the movie, like, she just owns the restaurant by herself, but in the book, she has her partner. And I actually really liked him because... in the movie, she was the one that just sort of changed her own mind about them. Like, she saw, like, the people who worked under her, they set the fire, and then she was regretful, and so everything changed just because of that circumstance, and, like, her mind just kind of changed itself. And so in the book, I found it more realistic to have the addition of Monsieur LeBlanc, because he was somebody who she respected and trusted, and he told her, you are a psycho. Like, you need to stop. And my favorite part was when he made her walk all the way back,
like, get out of the
car because she was being so stupid. I found that more realistic. Like, he was the voice of reason in her life that caused her to actually think about, like, the repercussions of her actions. The other character that I liked book-wise was Jean-Pierre, because he was less of just a pawn of Mallory in the book. Usually, just because your boss hates somebody, that doesn't mean you're going to hate them as well. He didn't start a fire on behalf of Madame Mallory. Like, that's, like, really dramatic, and wow. And I liked the fact that she actually gave the restaurant to him.
Yeah.
That made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I really like that part. Like, because he was yelling at her, like, saying, like, I have been working for you for years and years and years. She explained to him that Hassan has so much potential. I think she said something like, we only have him for a short period of time, and then he's gonna go and be great, type thing. And then, and then she said... she's like,
Hassan's not my favorite.
You're
my favorite.
Yeah, and I was like,
that was so
okay,
nice.
I kind of like that, because, like, even though Hassan wasn't her favorite, she still, like, poured everything she had into him, but then gave the place to Jean-Pierre, so it was nice. It was a nice moment.
That was a good leadership moment.
Yeah.
Good job, Madame Mallory. Standing O.
Yeah.
I think overall the book,
like,
how it was developed is better than the movie.
Yeah, so much more development, because it goes from when he was, like, a child to when he's, like, a middle-aged man.
He's, like, middle-aged. However, the part where he's a middle-aged man, I really zoned out on. I don't, I know there was a lot of political stuff.
The book ends with him getting his 3rd Michelin star. Yeah, which is, like, a huge deal. And so, but, like, he has a moment of realization, like, after his friend committed suicide, that there's more to life than working non-stop to achieve something, because, like, one day he was, like, sitting in the park or something, and he saw a family with kids. The idea of something more than just working for success was appealing to him. He still ended up with his 3 stars and he still kept working hard. He realized that there was more things in life other than becoming successful. So that was a good point too.
Hopefully he starts a family with Margaret. That would be
Yeah.
nice. That would be nice. I actually hope for them together in this book, whereas in the movie I was just like, she's kind of, I don't like her. Oh my gosh, one part that made me so mad was like, when, so mad, was when that guy that was working for him was like setting it up so that he got all this money. Like, he was so good when they, like, when he was going through, like, his application and his trial run, he was, like, such a good worker. And then as soon as he was, like, on contract, he started doing his jobs extra slow. Oh, that union guy that came and he was like, are you saying that you don't want people to do a good job? Like, you don't want them to take time and do a good work? And you're just like,
that's not the point.
Oh
the point is that he was scamming them.
Kill me now.
Yeah.
That was a climax for me, believe it or not.
Actually, yeah.
That part's down. I was emotionally invested in this storyline. I hated this guy. He was like the only true villain of the story.
He's a really good writer.
Yeah.
Like the way he like connected the deaths of 2 very important people in his life with just like what was going on in the whole
circumstances. Yeah, that's
I
really
really
cool.
love that. But I like to think the universe at large was itself reacting to the news that Abbas Haji and Gertrude Mallory were no longer a part of this life, but had finally been summoned to the
abattoir?
I don't know. And then he said, depression on a global scale, it was the only appropriate response.
I'm lucky I didn't zone out for Mallory's death, because it was like so like briefly mentioned, and his dad, like the way his dad died was like,
I know,
his dad died because they were like, he was like, yeah, they put him on a really stupid diet.
They should have just let him keep eating.
They should have just let him keep eating. Speaking of food, when they introduced Madame Mallory's character, they really introduced how she really liked to eat some exotic dishes. Like, she really enjoyed bull testicles, and rats.
That's disgusting.
Brittany has this, what do you call it, aversion? Like, she has a loathing for rats.
Like, it's
not even rats themselves, but the word rats. Maybe I'll cook you rats sometime.
Please don't.
Yeah, Brittany has a whole big long list of words she doesn't like. So that would be like rats, panties.
Ew! I don't like the word moist. I can handle it when they're talking about food.
Like moist chocolate cake.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Delicious.
But when you're talking about like a moist blanket.
Moist
ew! Fester. When someone refers to something as festering, like, is that really necessary?
Like those festering boils that they were squeezing earlier in the book. That's pretty gross.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel sick. Just kidding.
This really stood out to me too. Another thing they changed is like how long Madame Mallory waited. Like when she was convinced to get Hassan to come work for her. In the book, she waited for like weeks.
Oh yeah.
Like she sat for how many days? A long time. And in the movie, she literally waited for probably like 3 hours.
Yeah, or like
she just like fell asleep on the table, and then he feels bad, so he comes down to talk to her. I was even thinking at that part, like, man, the public was really quick to forgive Mallory, because when she was on her hunger strike, they like gathered around and they were like, just let her in, like send Hassan over, like why are you being such a douche? And I was like, I feel like nowadays people would like want her head even if she accidentally caught a child on fire. Oh yeah, what did you think about their romance? The romance between Hassan's dad and Madame Mallory.
That was weird.
That was so weird.
In the book, there was nothing like Hassan's dad had a different girlfriend. He was dating
just some random
completely
woman,
random.
and she may or may not have had a thing with her partner.
Yeah. I don't know. And then all of a sudden in the movie, they end up falling in love. Like,
even watching the movie, I wasn't really having it. I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And sort of a stretch.
Yeah.
It's cute if you really like suspend your thinking.
If you completely forget about the book, it's cute.
If you completely forget about the fact that they have nothing in common. And one more quote that I highlighted was, and I know Brittany liked this one too, good taste is not the birthright of snobs, but the gift from God, sometimes found in unlikely places and the unlikeliest people.
Yeah.
There's so many stories of just overcoming and just talent and passion and world changers coming from the least expected places. If you think you have nothing to offer, you really do. You're one of those unexpected places. And so, yeah.
Think of Hassan, a little Indian boy
Think of Hassan.
in France.
Oh my gosh. If you like the personification of food, it's just like passionate about food. That's it. If you're a foodie, like, you'll like this book. Yeah. So hungry all the time. No, seriously though, I had a craving for Indian food for like 3 weeks after this. If you just want a good heartwarming story that's standalone, it's not like a thriller or an action novel, it's just like a good story, I think you'll like this book. Yeah, I would recommend it.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'll give it a 9, actually. I would be interested to see how I felt after reading the real book, so that I had the opportunity to like pay attention to everything. Some parts are definitely not as interesting as others, but the characters are well developed. I think the characters and their circumstances are really well thought out, and I think there are some heartwarming themes, and I think it's well researched. Like, for an author who's not a chef, I assume he knows what he's talking about. I really like seeing when there was clearly research put into a book. So I guess our average would be like 8.5 stars. If you have read this book and you want to share your thoughts, change our opinions on anything, or like vent about anything you didn't like, or like just ramble about things you did like, shoot us some comments below. You can also give us a shout on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. I will put all of our information below. Show Brittany some love. She's amazing. I'll have her back hopefully, because we just love talking about books. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a great day.
See ya.
Bye.